Welcome everybody, my name is Akash and today I want to show you something very cool. It's one of my latest releases that I did with 555 Music and Rishabh. Both are my very dear friends and we together made this song. It's a really cool project and you're gonna have a really good time watching how I made it, how we all contributed, and how we came up with everything. Before you go ahead, do listen to the song. I'm gonna put the link in the description, and you can follow me on Instagram as Akash. Please don't stop. So let's dive in. Let's talk about first things first. When you listen to the song, which I recommend you do, the first thing you hear is this little Mike Tyson intro, which we did.
And you think I give a damn about you and then y'all? I don't care about living or dying. I'm a dysfunctional motherfucker. I want to play. Yeah, bring Angela lot on. Bring those guys. They can keep their title. I don't want their title. I want to strip them of their fucking health.
So I basically took a Mike Tyson speech from the internet and I put the main sample of the song, which I'm gonna show you, underneath it, and it worked as an intro to the song. So the whole idea was to show 555 as this big new rapper artist in the DHH. So it had to start with something legendary, and I told 555 that what if we put the Mike Tyson intro, right? And it's gonna sound like really scary, and people will know what's up. So let's go to the fun part next, which is the sitar sample. This is the main sample of the song. Shout out to Rishabh. He made most of the beat. I mean, I did help, but he did most of the beat. I did most of the arrangement and mixing and recording of this song. So let's take a listen to the sample. This is what the main sample sounds like. So he basically took a sitar sample and he chopped it and made the loop, and it was 555's request, his wish that he wanted an Indian instrument as the main theme of the beat, and most of the beat, as you will see, is actually made out of Indian instruments, except the beat itself, except the drums. So let's listen to other sounds. Next we have is another sitar, which is a one note sitar. It's just going in. This is the second thing, and then we have pads coming in. Some stabs in the pre-hook. So the whole idea was to give it that dark, aggressive, kind of scary vibe to the beat. This is the flute that we have used in the main part of the song. So this is majorly what we did in the beat. This is most of the music in the beat. So let me break down the drums one by one for you guys. Uh, let's start with the kick first. The most important thing, the kick. The 808s. The hi-hats. Pretty cool pattern. Tams. And there are 3 layers of snare. Not actually three, 2 layers of snare. And if I bring in all the instruments, the melodic instruments, this is what it sounds like in the main hook. So, one really cool thing which happens in the song is that it has 2 beat switches. So basically, there are 3 beats, different beats in this song, and there are 2 transitions. And this makes the whole song legit good and something very interesting, fresh to listen to. So I just showed you the main hook. Now let's jump right into the transition. So as the beat is going like this, it jumps into this section in the second verse. And slowly, everything just starts to come up like very slowly, very slowly. Let's take a look. The 808s come in right here, right here. Snare. Right? And then there's another transition which just drives people nuts. Uh, let me show you the third transition. It's pretty cool. It's very simple. There's just 2 sounds in it. So it goes from hip hop to Indian classically type stuff, and then to Jersey beat. So there are 3 beats in one song, and how 555 captures each pocket is insane to me. So let's look at the transitions of how I did the transitions. They're pretty easy, honestly. So I added this one DJ spin, the disc that goes that thing. So it has this absurd stoppage. It stops very absurdly, and it very quickly changes into the second beat, right? I've done it twice. So I hope you get the idea of how we made the transitions and how impactful these transitions have been, and how much they have helped to keep the song interesting, because the song in itself is so very lyrical. There's so much flow in the song that it's usually very difficult to keep the listeners engaged for 3 minutes, especially when there are so many words, there's so much flow, so many references, so to keep the listeners engaged, we have done all these transitions. Otherwise the song would have become very um, boring, and that's not what you want to do as an artist. You don't want people to quit your song because it's boring. So now let's talk about a very important thing. But before that, there are a few little things that I want you to look at. which is the SFXs, like swords and all that, because they, as I said, the whole idea was to make the song scary and gangster and dark. So this is what we did. The sword SFX, pretty cool. Then we have another ad lib kind of stuff here. Right. So these little things just keeps the listener engaged, throughout the song. As I said, you don't want to make it boring, man. So let's now talk about vocals. Vocals are the most important thing, and this song is very lyrical, composition heavy song. So the vocals, they had to be on point. So let's take a listen.
You don't know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लोकी. पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में लौकी. You wanna unleash the beast, ये लोकी. संगीत से चढ़ा साथ मिली बीत कलाओं में 1:30 बज गई. तुम नींदों में खड़ा सुनी चीख ली सीखों में शीशों पे चला लगू ठीक रहा. जीतना मृत्यु से डरा आशीष जरूरी सी डाउन प्रीसीज कैश डाउन बैक डाउन प्रेट डाउन कौन सी बस 3 का हिसाब 3 5 का जवाब 1 5 का जोड़ लाओ 6 3 बार 3 2 करूँ रैप मिला 5 का किताब बांट एक का भाग रहा हूँ 7 के खिलाफ. जान ले जनाबों के फायदे में आप तोड़ू कायदे से कायदा हूँ शहर का नवाब अलकायदा भी गाता जब देता इलाज रहता.
So as you can hear, this is very very lyrical.
संगीत से चढ़ा साथ मिली बीत कलाओं में 1:30 बज गई. तुम नींदों में खड़ा सुनी चीख ली सीखों में शीशों पे चला लगू ठीक रहा. जीतना मृत्यु से डरा आशीष जरूरी सी डाउन प्रीसीज कैश डाउन बैक डाउन प्रेट डाउन कौन सी बस 3 का हिसाब 3 5 का जवाब 1 5 का जोड़ लाओ.
Right. And as the transition happens, it gets much more awesome.
Night dog बजे siren बहुत में मर के भी जिंदा हूँ. I ain't God. You know me, yeah you know me. Say hi to my friend, जैसे Tony. You know me, yeah you know me. कौन ही रोक सकता जो चीज़ें होनी. You know me, yeah you know me. Say hi to my friend, जैसे Tony. You know me, yeah you know me. कौन ही रोक सकता जो चीज़ें होनी. कलम के कदम करवाते कतल कब खिलता कमल कलाकार के करम करा कार्यक्रम कल्याण कफन की कमाल किशन कलाकार की किरण रे बात ही खत्म गाता पापी गजल दौड़ी आगे खराब पर साफ है विजन. I'm on the hunt बताओ गांधी किधर जो होना है होगा जो राशि का फल. काफियों बाकी घुसा तूने कलम विजनरी भले देखा न कल ये तोते से लगते हैं गोटों पे बचते हैं हक दे.
Yes, one more important thing which I want to show you is this really cool sweet melody that comes in, and it just changes how everything is working in the song. So this is the melody. So it gives you this bounce that this song wouldn't have had if we had not added the melody, and it just changes the mood slightly by also not taking away the main theme of the song. So things like these really takes the song forward. Now let's talk about the vocal production, man. The vocal production is the most important thing which most people run away from. I don't know why people run away from vocal production, but I think it is the pharaoh. It is the king of every song, because if vocals suck, everything sucks. The recording has to be there, the composition has to be there, the lyricism has to be there, everything has to be just there so that it doesn't sound shitty. So I have many automations here, as you can see, because you don't want your mix to sound very static. It has to sound human, so things have to come forward and go back time to time, from situation to situation. So there are so many automations over here, as you can see. So these automations are done just to create context, to move things into context and move things out of context. Again, just to keep it interesting for 3 minutes. That was the challenge of the song, and we somehow successfully achieved that throughout these 3 minutes. So this is the lead.
Know me, but I've been low-key, scene मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लोकी पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में लौकी wanna unleash.
Now I'm gonna show you how I did the hook. So this is the main hook.
Know me, yeah you know me. Say hi to my friend. जैसे Tony, you know me, yeah you know me. कौन ही रोक सकता जो चीजें होनी, you know me, yeah you know me. Say hi to my friend.
So the delay effect is basically just this H delay that's going in and out in ping pong. As you can see, it's ping pong. And it just comes in when the main vocal stops, so it doesn't get into the way of the main vocal.
Know me, yeah you know me. Say hi to my friend. जैसे Tony, you know me, yeah you know me.
And there are just simply layers on some specific words to make them shine more in the mix.
Know me, yeah you know me. Say hi to my friend. Hi, जैसे Tony, you know me, yeah you know me. कौन ही रोक सकता जो चीजें होनी, you know me, yeah you know me. Say hi to my friend.
This one female ad-lib that 555 really wanted to put in. It's kind of funny.
Hi.
I don't know why he did that. I don't know why he did that, but he did that. So this was basically what we did. So there are 4 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is the main lead, and then the SFXs, which is mainly delay, right? Then let's move up to the next section. In next section we have a single layer vocal. Single layer because we wanted the listener's attention to be really towards the verse, towards the composition, the actual words that 555 is saying. So to give it more emphasis, we stripped everything away and we just kept the percussions and the main vocals. There's no bass here. Low end is gone. It comes in later.
कलम के कदम करवाते कतल कब खिलता कमल कला काटे करम करा कार्यक्रम कल्याण कफन की कमाल किशन कलाकार की किरण अरे बात ही खत्म गाता पापी गजल दौड़िया के खराब पर साफ है विजन नम ऑन द हंट बताओ गांधी के दर जो होना है होगा जो राशि का फल काफियों बाकी घुसा दूं न कलम विजनरी भले देखा न कल.
Now the layers come in here and the 808 and the melody also hits at the same time.
काफियों बाकी घुसा दूं न कलम विजनरी भले देखा न कल ये तो तैसे लगते हैं गोटों पे बचते हैं हक देते फिर भी करते न कल अब चाहिए क्या फल इनसे पूछ तो जरा के बीजी वो है डीट में गीत में नींद दिखाया था एटलीस्ट जो आराम जीत के सोया था.
Way out of pitch, but you don't need them to be completely in pitch when they are used as the layers, supportive layers. You just want the main lead to be there pitch wise.
काफियों बाकी घुसा दूं न कलम विजनरी भले देखा न कल ये तो तैसे लगते हैं गोटों पे बचते हैं हक देते फिर भी करते न कल अब चाहिए क्या फल इनसे पूछ तो जरा के बीजी वो है डीट में गीत में नींद दिखाया था एटलीस्ट जो हारा में जीत के सोया था पीजुलीश पे पैर बार ना किसके.
So we did that to give it more emphasis, and as you can also hear, the 808s come in and the main melody also comes in.
काफियों बाकी घुसा दूं न कलम विजनरी भले देखा न कल ये तो तैसे लगते हैं गोटों पे बचते हैं हक देते फिर भी करते न कल अब चाहिए क्या फल इनसे पूछ तो जरा क्या बीजी बोया था ढीठ में गीत में नींद दिखाया था एटलीस्ट जो हारा में जीत के सोया था पीजुलीश पे पैर बार ना किसके जब बार उधर वनी पारी शीट तेरे चांद पे जवाल हलाल ईद पे बोले पीछे पीट के मुझे घंटा नहीं फरक इनकी.
And also slowly the pads and counter melodies come in.
जीत के सोया पीजुलीश पे पैर बार ना किसके जब बार उधर वनी पारी शीट तेरे चांद पे जवाल हलाल ईद पे बोले पीछे पीट के मुझे घंटा नहीं फरक इनकी बाकी शीट से खाल पे खींच ले चाहे छाती पीट ले और दादी मीस ले दरवाजे खोले मैंने बिना किस के कॉल मी दे आज जैसे सीआईडी से क्या करा दूं तेरी बिल्ली का ब्याह जैसे घूमती वो दिल्ली में गिनती.
Again, it jumped from solo vocal to layers right here because this is the final section of the song.
क्या करा दूं तेरी बिल्ली का ब्याह जैसे घूमती वो दिल्ली में गिनती के दिन ही बचा या बजा और जो तेरे लाल पीले बाल और तू लगे मर में तेरी बंदी को लूंगा
with the automated delay as well, as you all heard. And this is the final thing, the final nail in the coffin. This thing right here is the Mike, not the Mike Tyson. It's just it's from some movie.
Say hello to my little friend.
And the song ends. This is how we structured the whole song. Now let's talk about the vocal processing. What I did in the vocals to make them what they are. So these are the vocals. All the processing here is what I did, and there are a lot of plugins here actually, which is really funny to me. Anyway, the first thing is a compressor, FET. Why? Because I wanted to give it some initial compression because it was jumping in and out too much, and I wanted to give it some stability, so I compressed it so it stops jumping around so much in the mix and becomes steady, rock steady.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लोकी पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में Loki, you wanna unleash the. You'll know me, but I've been low-key.
Then there is CLA2A to give it more signal. I wanted to give it more signal because it was sounding weak.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen mere haath mein.
You see how it jumps straight into your face with CLA2A. I love CLA2A for this reason. Next is Pro Q4, some sibilances, some frequencies which I heard I did not like them, so I took them out.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen mere haath. पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में लौकी you wanna unleash.
And also the mic that he used was not the best mic. That's why I had to put so many plugins to make it sound listenable. Next thing I have is tube EQ.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लौकी पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में लौकी you wanna unleash the beat. You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लौकी.
I had to give it some warmth, so I boosted up here a little bit to give it that warmth, because what I did was what was happening was that it was really bright and it was really like kind of hurting my ear. It was, the vocals were very thin. I didn't want them to sound thin. So I gave them some warmth and I used this rap vocal preset and it kind of worked. I had to make some changes, but it worked for most part. Then fresh air, because it was sounding too warm, so I gave it some more air again.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लौकी पसंद नहीं.
So now it has both body and the air that it requires, so it sounds pretty stable now.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे.
Pro EQ, because air generated some of the high sibilances.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे पसंद.
Bad environment, bad microphone caused everything.
I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ पसंद नहीं.
Yeah, so you want to get rid of all these things. And the next thing is my favorite, the pitch correction. So it's a D flat minor scale. And
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लौकी पसंद नहीं आता सबको.
then reverb.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लौकी पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में लौकी you wanna unleash the beat. You'll know me.
Right, so you can look at the delay time. It's not too late, it's not too early. I just wanted to make sure that those words are coming in perfectly without the reverb covering them and making them dull and hidden in the mix. So next is Pro Q4,
You'll know me,
nothing much. It's just taking off the excessive low end. 91 hertz is where I was cool with the vocals. So
you'll know me. But I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लोकी. पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में लौकी. Wanna unleash the beast. You'll know me. But I've been low-key, seen मेरे.
next is Apex Vintage Exciter by Waves.
You'll know me. But I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लोकी. पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में लौकी. Wanna
I still felt like it was really warm and it needed some spark, some excitement. And as the name says, Apex Vintage Exciter, it did give it some excitement. Next is CLA. CLA, I love CLA because it has this thing where it just instantly gives you this Spotify ready vocals. It's just, you listen to it and you're like, oh, the vocals are in the right place. I don't know how CLA vocals does this, but I love whatever it does.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लोकी. पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में लौकी. Wanna unleash the beast.
And I just put this on. I didn't really change a lot. I just pulled the compression on a little bit, reverb. I kept the delay on, the slab delay, because it was sounding cool at the time. Next is Pro Q4.
You'll know me,
Okay.
but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ.
So it's taking out some of the boxiness from the vocals because they're sounding boxy.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen.
You always want to take out boxiness from the vocals. Then again, Vintage Tube EQ, this time default preset. I boosted around 4,400 hertz. I gave it some 3 dBs.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ.
It instantly gave it that. It gave it some body. It needed some body.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे.
It's a very slight difference, but it's a very significant one.
You'll know me, but I've been low-key, seen मेरे हाथ में जैसे मैं लोकी. पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में. Know
Again,
me.
it's taking out some of the sibilances and some frequencies which I needed to compress a little at times.
Loki, पसंद नहीं आता सबको सब्जी में लौकी. Wanna unleash the beast. You'll.
And then RVox. To lift everything up, RVox is one of my favorite